my family will finally be able to come home.
I am here. Hopps and Wilde. Dream team.
So I want to jump right in with spoilers and say, how dare you make me fall in love with Paubert and then turn it into like the absolute worst?
Yes.
Was that always the plan with that character? Were you just keeping him as like a secret villain the whole time?
Yes. I mean, I think from the very beginning, we knew that Paubert would be our secret weapon. One of the tricky things about a sequel where we had a twist villain in the first movie is we knew that people would be sort of armed with looking around for who's the villain going to be this time. So, I mean, if we're talking spoilers, and this is for after people are going to see it, we brought the Lynx family in and basically told the audience, here's your villains right here. And there's nothing to worry about with Paubert because he's been outcast. Why would he ever be working against Judy? It doesn't make sense. I think the really fun part of that character was he needed Judy, he needed Gary to help himself. And then once he got what he needed, obviously, he really throws them under the bus. That was really fun and delightful, and messing with the audience and really hopefully having you fall in love with him was so critical to that. I got to say, so. Andy Samberg absolutely nailed this part. And then our animators on top of that, he's so lovable and weird, and it's the kind of, you're like, oh, I really feel for that guy, and I think that's it's a real testament to their talents.
Yeah, we love the little meet cute with Judy and Paubert at the gala, and even Michael's score, Michael Giacchino's score. It's just like two dorks falling in love. It's just super charming, and again, like Andy Samberg, we've been fans of his for years, and he has this easy, goofy charm where you go, oh, I just absolutely love that guy. So he's really key to who Paubert is.
I could say with the score, if you really pay attention to that moment where they meet for the first time, the music that is dorky is actually the villain theme, but just in a major chord versus a minor chord. So if you listen to it, it's a dumb version of the villain thing he'll eventually do later on.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if we go back and we rewatch it, will we see hints? And evidently.
Yeah, it's all over the place, yeah. I mean, he literally tells you that he's the villain in that thing. He says, yeah, I'm a Lynx. I mean, I'm not really, but I'm trying to be. He literally says, here's my motivation for the whole story right there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this movie is fun. It's funny. You have the animal gags and puns and all of that. Yeah. But it's also just a sweet, honest, pure story of friendship. So how important was it to get that moment between Judy and Nick when they're telling each other how much they truly matter to each other, to get that just perfect?
Oh, Jared wrote that really, really early, I'd say, and that became, when a scene lands like that, we call those like our tent poles. Like, that is something that absolutely is going to be in the movie. The context of where it took place and the circumstances around it changed, but that exchange, I think literally almost word for word, stayed the way that Jared wrote it. And then when Ginny and Jason got in there and gave us performances that we had just never seen from them, that was an incredible bar. And then our animators took it to the next level. Like, if you watch that, like they're standing in the snow just looking at each other, saying these things to each other, but the depth and the subtlety that the animators, it's like that is some of the best animation I've seen in my whole career, bar none. And so but I think that's the magic of the movie, is because with all of this eye candy and all of this crazy technology and flashiness and stuff, at the core of it is really this simple relationship between two characters that really care about each other. So that's, it really works for me.
Yeah, I was like, that one therapy session was so good.
Yeah, she's a good therapist.
Right.
Yeah, Fusby, she does a good job.
Fusby.
Yeah, Dr. Fusby.
I also love that we get so many characters back from the first movie. So what was the process of figuring out the best way to bring Flash back, and what made him like what made you decide he just loves to drive cars fast?
We iterate a lot on the story, and we all have our favorite characters from the original film, but we have these great new characters. And so, our process is we screen our films a number of times for our crew and our people in our studio. And it's really, these two guys, I give a lot of credit to these two guys, are really trying to find the right balance and where to put the return characters and how they help the story move forward. I'll let you speak to Flash and how we found out.
we love Flash. We knew that we wanted to bring him in a very pivotal moment, and that had he not shown up in that moment, something bad would have happened for Nick or for Judy or for both of them. And so I think, we ended the first movie with Nick and Judy pulling him over for speeding. And so, I think for the super fans of Zootopia, it's funny. Some people in the audience, the second they say the fastest animal in Zootopia, you will hear some people know exactly where we're going. So we love that people like that part. Yeah, but I'd say the nice thing was that Nibbles didn't know that, and so when she's sitting in the back seat and doesn't even think to buckle her seatbelt, she pays for it.
Yeah. Then how did the Bellweather Silence of the Lambs moment happen? Because like that was just fantastic.
That's Byron's idea from I think like 9 years ago. You were like, we got to do Silence of the Lambs.
We had a long scene written around that, and it was so tough because it just was not welcome in any other part of the movie. And so what it distilled down to is this amazing jump scare with Bellweather. And then I don't know if you came up with this, but the idea that she has like been in that cell a long time, and she, the wool happens, and so she uses the wool to kind of create her own furniture. If you look at the coffee cup, there's a coffee mug with little strands of hair that look like steam coming off the coffee cup, and
she lost her mind.
She's lost her mind a little bit. Yeah, but we love Bellweather, and Jenny Slate is just like a joy. Like we have hours of her on tape doing crazy Bellweather stuff that we just didn't have room for. But you'll see her return, I'm sure.
Yeah, it took me a minute for my brain to catch up with that moment, but when it did, I was like, somebody has been holding on to that for a very long time.
You were not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we wait a decade almost for the sequel. So now that you've given us this little tease with the feather at the end, like how long do we have to wait for Zootopia 3 now? Like, is this going to be
next
less
week, actually.
than a decade?
We're doing it right after. I mean, honestly, we would love to go back to Zootopia forever. It's our favorite, toy box to play in. And so I think the hope is it's always about the characters and about the story and something that we get passionate about. I think the nice thing about Zootopia is there's endless numbers of stories to tell, but all of them, through entertainment, allow us to talk about human nature.
Yeah.
We all love Judy and Nick so much. I mean, that's a given going into this. So how challenging was it to figure out what to pair with them? How to make Gary, how to have Nibbles, how just have the personalities work together.
Well, no, I mean, one of the things, I think Nibbles specifically, as Jared calls her, a chaos agent, which is the perfect term. And, I think we all love Fortune Feimster, and what she does with her comedy. And the fact that one of the things we loved about her is you get her in that recording booth and you say, can you go crazier? She's like, yes, I can. So Nibbles became a huge part of a character that could really poke at Nick. Nick, who is so cool. I wish I could be as cool as Nick. But someone who could really rattle Nick and throw him off his game. Because the places that Nibbles takes Nick and Judy, Nick has not been before. So this is all new territory. She is a very new element in Nick's life. And actually part of the reason, there's a great scene in that prison scene where she is kind of poking at him to kind of unearth these feelings that he has that he would never say to anyone else. And I think it's part of the magic of that recombination, that sort of mini partnership that happens with them that kind of only a sequel can do. It really is a part of what makes sequels kind of fun and kind of great.
I'm curious what your favorite part of Marsh Market is, because I could just live there forever for an entire movie. In every part of that, what did you the most love about that?
I love that you asked about that, because Marsh Market is really my favorite new place that we go to in this film. It is so alive and so full of so many different characters. I want to go hang out at the bar. I want to go through the tubes. I want to, I think I could spend, a whole week there just kind of hang out with and find Nibbles. And
it wouldn't smell great.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, that's okay, but I'd have a good time. I'd just jump in the water. It's fine.